Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Make a show said this weekend was going to be tricky. Very, 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 very tricky. And people have found out. Say this weekend has been really tricky in terms of matches. Because forgive me, I think there were a little bit of a throat fatigue. In the next few weeks, probably, I can finally get some leave and stop talking for like 2-3 days. Yeah, I said, I can wake up it back because may struggle, but I want to bring you content. I was on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. So I want to subscribe to the channel. I'm so subscribe and turn on notification. I have some very good ginger therapy and pay and I'm in sanity. How things will go. Of course, here investor. I mentioned that this week was going to be tricky, but on Friday we need 2 codes, 9 odds, any 16 odds, and we need our Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. And Yentini and any win because of the analysis I'm about to do today. Madrid and Barcelona. What a day it was for them. And disappointing every possible investor there. Oh yes, because Madrid lost and Barcelona about draw. Of course, elsewhere Inter, elsewhere Parma about 2-2. There was the other one of Fiorentina and AC Milan that we mentioned also as well. So it was going to be a tough one. But again, and then we go again. The team has sat down. The producer said, "Yeah, come on." Okay, the producer said, "Your 2 groups are IMA. The Fiifi-Manfred special betting group now IMA. There is a Fiifi-Manfred odds group. I think it's also IMA. And then, baby, a person will join the part. Yeah, the links in your go on Telegram channel. When I say Telegram, there any limit, so you can go as many as whatever quantity number of people that will be able to enter. The link to Telegram now or down on the description of the video, and the codes also already or description of the video. But join the Telegram, join the WhatsApp group you're creating the for. You also have the WhatsApp group for diaspora. Omomo Amanone. So join the Telegram group now. The WhatsApp link for the diaspora, different way will help with that as well. And I want to join this group. Then we will talk to you and I will drop the link in there. Now, on your diaspora, join this group. Maybe you're a film. I'm sorry, producer said just for the people who are in the diaspora. Yesterday, Madrid Elfie at the Santiago Bernabeu. We're going into that game knowing that Valencia were winless in 4 away games of Spanish La Liga. And I said, I said, Real Madrid versus Valencia a tricky game. And then the Lacachenzo and Shenanigans tricky sana. Miami and Tubasia, Madrid and Valencia there. Madrid should be able to get a win. I was the game can be tricky because it is Madrid that's playing at home, and a lot of the managers that played against Carlo Ancelotti who have won the tactical battle, tactically they seem to be a notch higher than him. The way Ancelotti wins games usually is hinged on the players, the performance. So if the players don't turn up, then he's going to be in trouble. And we went into the game. Madrid for starting lineup had Abrante and Fran Gonzalez, because I mentioned also earlier, I said Andrea Lune and Abrante and Thibaut Courtois are all going to be absent for that game that Madrid about. So then it was going to be an important game. How is Madrid going to shape up? Starting lineup, a really interesting lineup, of course, with absence of Lunin and Abrante and Thibaut Courtois. Orient Chimeni back at centre back with Abrante and Antonio Rudiger, Fran Garcia, Lucas Vasquez, Jude Bellingham, Federico Valverde, Luka Modric. The laptop, there was Vinicius Jr., Kylian Mbappe, and Abrante and Ibrahim Diaz over there. Of course, we later found out that Madrid are going to be without Abrante and Dani Ceballos. Earlier on, near doing say Abrante and Dani Ceballos was going to be fit and ready to play against Valencia and even Arsenal. But and then from Spain, Mar Samora reported say Abrante and Dani Ceballos looks like he's going to be absent from playing against Team and Arsenal Football Club. Madrid went into that game. Villarreal for the share first goal. Vinicius Jr. said penalty. Then Vini got a equalizer. And for a lot of Madridistas at that point in time, we all believe that the comeback was on, because it's the first half we are down by a goal to 0. Now about second half. Now Obaba Baye Jumana Vini made that goal in the second half. Then it makes the yard really get in there. In and around the 50th minute over there, you could see that Mbappe who were trying to see they can get a result, but it wasn't really coming. Now, in China Massa, say Vini got a equalizer, 1-1, a lot of Madridistas believes, okay, you do baby, as you bet in your managina, your results, pushy. We know that we have quality players, they will break. Then dying numbers of the game. Who go do 50-50 ball with Fiifi. Madrid just could not control the ball. Then the ball took a ricochet, fell back, cut back to the part of our branch friend Godoro, and then made it 2-1. At the death, Madrid went down. That means that the gap between Madrid and Barcelona could have gone to 6 points because the Barcelona have won the next game. Kylian Mbappe on Instagram was a bad day for us. Full focus on Tuesday. Jude Bellingham also mentioned said it wasn't a good one after the game. Frank Gonzalez wasn't happy. Said the first match, or considered 2 goals. I went in of course, at that point in time, and you may then it meant that Barca were going to play against Tima, your friend of Real Betis. I mentioned Cesar Guerrero. It was obviously a difficult one for Team friend FC Barcelona. Barca went into the game with a plan of resting Rafinha because according to Hansi Flick, we bought a lot of matches. In the area, Yanko came in him. Yembo Ferran Torres back into the team, but from the left, number inside Robert Lewandowski, then Lamine Yamal. And I like the game plan at Real Betis for the call match. Totally ceded possession to Team friend FC Barcelona. Omuja Barca for this more. In fact, social lineup Barca for Nicoma, Gavi, Pedri, Frankie de Jong. It was total dominance in terms of press, counter press, recycling of play, control, everything. And I put Fiifi-Manfred with Kubasi Arao, Jules Koundé, and a branch friend Alejandro Balde. Excellent game plan from Team friend in Barcelona. When you look at Real Sociedad, Real Betis, they came into the game to set off. Yengana Barcelona Momono, Urumunaya, Omumbra, who defend our box very deep. The difference between them and the mistakes Sociedad for the apart from the red card that Sociedad did, and they said Sociedad were not aggressive in the house space. When you looked at Real Betis, they were very aggressive in the house space. Ball you be draw on them, almost press it, no counter press it, almost press it, no counter press it, almost press it, no counter press it, and they tried somewhere preventing and limited Barca. But Barca got very good chances, although there were no 2 clear cuts. Matching, okay, in front of Spurs, so 1 more point, 1 less match over there. Talking about the facts and you made Barca just 1 more point instead of 3 more points of Tima, your friend FC Real Madrid. And if you go in front of Mundo Deportivo, Mundo say more leader +4. Talking about the facts, at least Barca can be free game with him. But Team my friend Real Madrid here, they didn't get anything out of it over there. If you look at the game, 8 games left for Team my friend and Barca to see if they can win the Spanish La Liga. And I say, team winning it was a really, really difficult game for Team my friend FC Barcelona. I think that one of the players that was really outstanding on the day was our branch friend Gavi. Solid play, especially without the ball. And Pedri will get a lot of plaudit for the aesthetically pleasing style of play, and of course the hard work and how he makes things stick for Barcelona. But to be very honest with you, you will give credit also to our branch friend Gavi. He is solid box-to-box midfielder, corner cheap, band and him. I mean, everything you want from Pablo Gavi, he gives you. Elite positioning, attacking, very dynamic as a 10. Great start to the game. That Barca here, a lot of 10-man combinations. So they may be athletic for the move, and they did. The only thing was that athletic Real Betis for were also very aggressive, were combating. It's house plays more than Barca, they had chance to bring, and they didn't let that happen at all. Inconsistent in the final 10. I think that Barca for were tired. I think that for me, my final analysis of Barca match generally is about fatigue. Or the Barca, Barca bought in the last 10 days about 3 to 4 matches already. This is about the 3rd match or the 4th match. Oshobi is a Borussia Dortmund and Barca didn't remember midweek. But about just 2 matches in 10 weeks. So enough rest for them. They are fresh. Kani Chukwu and Becca share my Dortmund over the weekend, and Barca are going to play against the fatigue. Real thing, people, mental just as well as physical. The fixture list is absurd, and Barca any huge crowd. So sir, these players have many complete sympathies. For perspective, this was the 4th game in 10 days. Couldn't be prouder of the lads. you could tell that there was serious fatigue in there. Barcelona were trying a lot of 10-man combination. But for me, the man of the match on the Barca point of view, in that game against Team F Real Betis was about Pablo Gavi. Excellent positioning, making things stick. The press, the counter press was important. I understand that it was a huge chance. I think Barca made something of it, getting 1 point, preventing Madrid from keeping the gap at just 3 points and giving them extra morale. It's also important. Yes, it was a huge opportunity. But Barcelona extended on leading by 1, even when the team looked very, very fatigued. Several players tired, could have been more. But after all, Barcelona have done enough over there and stands now. Not to forget, Barca against a team all top 5 in the league. 8 more games to go. And Barca, let me win 6 out of the 8. Then straight, they have won the Spanish La Liga. And then games are for both Madrid and Barca in the lead up to the Spanish La Liga. Dortmund, Barca, Dortmund, Leganés away, Dortmund away, then Celta Vigo home, Mallorca home, Real Madrid Copa del Rey final, semi-final, Champions League semi-final. If Barca qualify, Valladolid away, then semi-final also return leg if Barca qualify. Madrid, Espanyol, Villarreal, Athletic Club is the final game, and then of course Champions League final possibly. Madrid, remember Arsenal away in England this week, midweek. There's going to be Alaves away, also some Babaka. Then Arsenal at home, Athletic Bilbao at home, Getafe away, Barcelona, Celta Vigo, Barcelona in the league game. Then there's going to be Mallorca, Sevilla, and Itima, the friend of Real Sociedad. Really, really interesting games over there for team and friend of Real Madrid and the team and friend of Barcelona. Who wins the Spanish La Liga as the season goes on over there for themselves? In about 1 year ago, Senkobika said choosing between Declan Rice and Moise Caicedo. Could be having for Declan Rice. In fact, people were saying that Moise Caicedo was just a flop, just like Enzo Fernandez. Because Makani several times, football fans and then Omo takes about a game is that there is no how do I say it, sympathy for young players. People don't have patience for young players. But today look at Moise Caicedo and I think that this season probably the most important player for Chelsea this season, and one of the best midfielders ever league, if not the best this season. Here, Moise Caicedo, you will give him a lot of credit. He has done absolutely well for the kind of football our Chelsea and how consistent he has been. Chelsea for said a couple of months ago, Wesley Fofana Pride, Mekai, according to Enzo Maresca, or Mekai on the pre-match press conference said, Chelsea doctors not trying to say Wesley will not be back till the tail end of the season. And on moment won't be able till next season because the story was simple. Chelsea were trying to get Wesley Fofana to do the surgery. Say on your surgery, if you're hamstring surgery, because after the knee issue, the ankle, then my friend is saying, and usually some of these things they are interconnected. It happens, and any alien say will be bigger knee issue at some point in time. Now for the ankle worker, then if it goes to the ankle, there's a possibility of a hamstring, maybe overload or something as well in the look of it. Chelsea wanted Wesley Fofana to do the surgery. Wesley saw it. The Kaiser on nickname now for French food in common Instagram. And I want the better the people were wondering if Enzo Maresca will issue or not. He flew to France, the doctor, and started treatment. After a while, he said he was back. It was not going to happen. And now, Chelsea updated Obia Enzo Maresca by said he won't play till the end of the season. And that Chelsea from this statement by said, I'm right here for Wesley Fofana, why the hamstring injury, surgery, that he has been running away from for a very long time, and he's not going to be out. He's not going to be in there for Chelsea Football Club over there. We've been talking about Chelsea possible strikers and who should be the next Chelsea player. Our centre forward, and Liam Delap and the 12th goal for a relegation threatened Ipswich Town. 12th goal. Maka A lot of people do not give credit to Liam Delap because Obama Ipswich and they did Liam Delap, and he has not done so much, but he's a top player, physical, aggressive, combative. I would love to have Liam Delap next to my different Victor Osimhen. Imagine Chelsea about game. That Osimhen Jackson and Tomatoes for 60 minutes. Now for the second half, base 68 minutes. Now for the Liam Delap at touchline. Defenders are really going to be sad. They are not going to be happy for that. Non-penalty goals are Liam Delap has 10. Out of the 12 goals, we penalties. Was 14 goals Osimhen, which is non-penalty goals over there. So it means that 6 of them penalty. Or percentage of teams goals are Liam Delap has in the team 38.7% of all of the goals of Ipswich Town. And if you look at the kind of team Ipswich is, you give a lot of credit. Osimhen has 29.8%. Percentage of teams on penalty goals 34.4, 24.5. Big chances missed. Liam Delap, I'm missing 10. Osimhen, I'm missing 18. Of course, it is normal for players like this to have these big chances as well, because the more you get a chance, the most likely you score, and you miss some as well. Shot conversion rate is the most important one. Liam Delap, 20%, and Victor Osimhen, 19.8% in terms of shot conversion rate. One airball for 18 plays Ipswich in the Premier League, and the other is playing for first place Galatasaray or Turkey. Osimhen only has 4 more penalty goals than Delap, despite being infinitely a better team contextually in each teams and their respective leagues, which is very true. And that's why Memaka said, if you do not watch Liam Delap, but you need to give him credit. What we are hearing is a Chelsea 4 player, Fredo Dario Sugo, Liverpool phone contacted. They tried to convince him to join Liverpool, but I was thinking, come on, Dario Sugo, Liverpool. Oh, this can cry. This cannot come on, Dario Sugo. There was no way the boy was going to take. Guys, and I joined the kettle of today's edition. Sorry for my voice. See you.